First and 10 from the 38. Play action. Romero throws deep, has a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, James Pearson.
This team is a team that fought and had to learn to find its identity. We weren't sure at which points in the season we were going to become more run-focused or pass offense. I think that some of our youth was showing earlier in the year, and there were some of those peaks and valleys. In some of those valleys, we had to really struggle to see what kind of team we were going to have, and were we going to fold and fall apart, or were we going to try and pull it together and just stay resilient. And I was really proud of these guys because they stayed true to the course. They stayed true to what I'm trying to teach and instill in them as a football program, but more just young men that, life sometimes doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you got to be willing to fight and compete and keep your head up every day. And I think these guys did that.
I was a little unsure with the upcoming season because we lost a lot of seniors and a lot of them were starting, including our seven DBs. They all graduated and I was the only one left there. And I felt like we got a lot of our jitters out throughout the summer, but we were a little unsure at the beginning of the season.
I was unsure of how our season would go. After our first game, I thought maybe we would be a lot better. It kind of got the jitters out of some guys, and I felt that we had a good shot this year.
The Eagles started on a roll, defeating the Peninsula Panthers 31-21 to open up the year at home. El Segundo would lose their next two games, including a Week 3 matchup against rival Miracosta. Despite the score, this was a game everyone looked forward to.
I looked forward most to Miracosta as always. It's just playing against old teammates that we used to go against, old friends.
Well, the Costa game is always a fun game for El Segundo, and I think both communities really like playing that game. We lost that game, but it's always a good, healthy rivalry, and those kids all have grown up with each other and seen each other. So that was a tough loss, but a good game for us to play.
The Eagles had a lot of obstacles this year, but a few bright spots shined through. The O-line was stellar no matter who was in the rotation.
I was very proud of my guys. I think we really came together as a unit. We all understood how the plays worked and what to do on each play in any situation.
The offensive line opened up big holes for junior running back Armand Saison.
Armand is just, he's a guy that can do it all. He works really hard. He's a pretty quiet kid, but he shows up, man. He plays his heart out, and he's very compassionate and wants to be great, not necessarily just for himself, but really for his teammates. And he wants to help his team win any way he can, and I think that's going to be infectious next year. He had an outstanding season this year as an underclassman for us. And the team will kind of be built around his talents next year, along with throwing the ball to some of the other kids that we have out there.
The Eagles finished the season with an overtime win against Santa Monica. It was the perfect way to say goodbye to longtime defensive coordinator Dan Heck.
Coach Heck was retiring after a bunch of seasons at our high school, and it was just a proper way to send him off. Overtime, defense stepping up, making the big play to win the game.
Coach Heck has been a very special coach in our program for a long time, but for the last 10 years he served as our defensive coordinator, and I think this program, and I've said it many times, that this program is where it is today because of what his influence on that side of the ball has brought. He brings a toughness and a tenacity and an expectation that there is no reason to ever slack off. If you aren't going full speed, you're not going to play. We had a great relationship. I'm going to miss him dearly, but I understand why he wants to step down and get away for a little bit. Although I'm going to say this right now, he's not done coaching. I'm going to get him back in some capacity at some point down the road. But for us, we were very, very lucky to have him with us, and he's going to be sorely missed.
Regardless of their win-loss record, this was a good football team, a team that played with pride and passion.
This is a great group of kids that we coached, extremely coachable. We go back to last February when we start the weight training program, and we do these 6 a.m. workouts. The kids were there every day and working hard and really putting in the time and effort. And I think to a man, they were all invested. They all cared deeply about each other and about the season. It was just a lot of graduation losses this year. It took its toll, and the team had to go through that growth spurt of challenging to understand varsity football, and then growing as the season went along.
This was a roller coaster of a season. Lots of twists and turns, ups and downs. But in the end, you were happy you went along for the ride. Fly, Eagles fly.